Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kuda Kwashe. I'm excited to be chatting with you today. Today I have a very special topic to chat with you guys about. Most of you asked me this question. A lot of you asked me this question, especially after surviving 18 months of looking for a job, surviving over 200 interviews with over 70 companies. What I got asked a lot of by most of my friends, especially when they came to celebrate, some of them even cried, asked me this, and celebrated me for such a crazy fit. What they kept talking about, what almost everybody talked about, was my resilience. They were like, how in the world were you able to keep going? And I was also dealing with some visa issues. I could have been sent back to Zimbabwe. I had to navigate that. I had to kind of use ChatGPT as my lawyer at some point. And just navigating the whole thing was super, super stressful and super painful. I was navigating a relationship that was turning into a marriage. All bunch of things were happening all at the same time. Man, it was a rough time. It was absolutely a rough time. There's nothing more that I can say that can help you understand how rough this time was. But the feedback that I kept on getting is like, how did you survive? And I remember at the time too, reaching out to my friend. He had gotten laid off, but his thing didn't last more than 6 months. But still, I was curious, how did he keep going? Because it seemed like everybody around me was struggling, including myself. And so I would often call him and like, how did you do it? How did you do it? How did you do it? And he didn't have an answer. He's like, bro, just keep going. But I actually do have the answer. And then I wanted to share with you guys. It's like 3 things I've learned on this journey that I wanted to share with you guys. It's going to be a super short video, but I think these strategies are going to be super helpful in your journey. These are not only strategies to help you if you've just recently or you've been on the journey of a layoff. I think these strategies can help you in any sort of scenario that you're going through of a journey that's been difficult for you. Whether that's grief, you're grieving something, grieving the end of something, grieving the death of someone that matters to you, or whether you're grieving the loss of a job, whatever it is, any situation in your life right now that seems bigger than what you can manage, I think these strategies will be super helpful for you to stay resilient and to manage it to get to the very end. The first thing I wanted to say is don't escape. Most of the times when we go through rough time, the first instinct is to escape. It's like that flight or fight, brain mechanism that we have where whatever seems challenging to us is either we run or we stay and we fight. And most of the time we run in situations like this. And ways that we run, some of us have things that we find solace in, even though we know that those things are not helpful, whether it's like past habits that we picked up, whether that's smoking, drinking, or partying, running away in any sort of shape and form, whether that's just like disconnecting from the situation. Some people are just really good at just like shutting down. Like you just disconnect. It's like nothing is happening. You're in your own world. You don't even care about what's happening around you. Those are all forms of escape. And I highly, highly suggest that you don't escape. Because when you escape, those behaviors or those attitudes that you do, they actually end up create what's called suffering. Because if you're escaping, you end up being suffering, and now you actually have to deal with those things as well. So for example, if you're escaping and you start drinking as a way to cope, you have a drinking problem that you're gonna have to deal with after or alongside the journey that you're already on that's been very and super difficult. So even though there's a temptation, and I understand there's a temptation to escape, whether some of you guys, I know it may be pornography, it may be whatever it is that you have used in the past to cope, you know that's not going to be helpful, so don't go there. Please, I promise you, it's only going to make your situation worse. You're going to be tempted to do what you normally do to feel better, but don't do it because it's not going to be ultimately helpful for you. So that's number 1. So if you're not escaping, what are you doing? You're staying to fight, but how do you even fight? You fight by staying present. That's point number 2. Find a way to romanticize what it is that you're going through. What do I mean by romanticizing? What I mean is just essentially just finding ways to accept that this is your life. What I do in my own brain, I literally just push a switch. I have a switch in my brain where I'm like, this is my life now. And most of our pain comes from feeling like my life shouldn't be like this. I should have been at this place. I should have gotten this job. I should have whatever. I remember when I didn't get Anthropic, man, I was depressed. I got really depressed because in my head, I was going to get Anthropic. It was going to explain all the 12 months that I'd spent looking for a job. It was going to be the best job ever. I was going to be paid shit tons of money, and it was going to make my life so much better. And I had the whole thing planned in my head. And when that didn't work out, I crashed. And that was also reminiscent of my journey in general. I felt like it was unfair that I was going through this. I felt like I was too smart to go through this. I felt maybe I was not smart to go through this. I felt maybe I wasn't good enough. Maybe I should have studied more. Maybe I should have worked hard more. Like I thought about all these things that had nothing to do with my situation when I could have just accepted and enjoyed and appreciated the process. And there's two ways you can do this. The first one is having gratitude. Gratitude. You have to find ways to be grateful for the season that you're in. And it's actually quite easy to do that. Right now, I use this book. It's called the 5-Minute Journal. It's been super helpful for me, but you actually don't need to buy this. If you have the means, sure, go ahead and buy it. But it's very simple. Every page is essentially the same as the last one. It just says, the first one, I don't know if you can see it, but the first prompt, it has 3 prompts or 4 prompts a day. The first one is, I'm grateful for. The second is, what would make today great? The third one is the daily affirmation. And then the last one is which one you do at night is like, highlights of the day and things I learned today. And that's essentially what I wanted to give you guys. That will help you with being able to ground yourself in the life that you're living right now through gratitude. You have to find things that you can be grateful for. And I know sometimes hearing this, when you're going through a hard time, it feels insensitive. Like, hey, what could I be happy about the fact that I lost my job, right? And I was in that situation too. I looked around me and I'm like, everything sucks. It's because I was trying to escape that I felt that way. The day that I decided that this was now my life, I started seeing things that I could accept about the situation and enjoy about the situation. And one of those things that I look back at it now and actually miss the time of not having a job was the fact that I owned my time. I could be anywhere at any time. I could learn and study whatever I wanted to do. I could, spend my time in any way that I wanted to spend it. And that was a blessing that today I don't have the benefit of. Like, I actually have to take some time off if I'm to have the same experience I was having at the time. And so I highly, highly encourage you to find there's always things, no matter the season you're going through, no matter the difficulties and the pain and the suffering that you're going through, there is joy in your season. There's joy in that time that you're experiencing right now. So I wanted to encourage that. That's number one. Number 2 is acceptance. The practice of acceptance is one of the most powerful things you can do for yourself. Just being able to accept that this is what it is, right? Like, it is what it is. Accept reality, because most of the time we're escaping reality. We're choosing not to accept reality. We want reality to change, and we spiral, right? We get out of control because reality at the end of the day is what's real, right? The future is not guaranteed. It's not like you're going to get what you think you're going to get. You may not even get it. So acceptance goes a very long way. And how do you gain acceptance? Honestly, it's going to sound contradictory, but it's just by accepting. You decide. You just have to make that decision that this is what's real. This is where I'm at. I don't have a job. I've been looking for a job for this long. My parents just passed away. My family member just did this or did that. You just have to accept it and move on. And that actually begins the process for your healing. And finally, and most importantly, I couldn't stress this point enough, find community. If you can't find community of people that are going through what you're going through, create one. And that's what I ended up doing. And that's what I'm doing in this video as well. I'm creating community for people who are going through and have gone through what I'm going through and rallying up together so we can help each other. And what that does is that don't only find the community, but be proactive about helping others in that community. I think that's super, super key. Don't just be part of the community, be an active member of that community, actively helping other individuals. How I ran into this strategy was actually when I was going through my own journey. Like I told you, I was very, very discouraged. And that time I sought therapy because I was feeling depressed, and I was depressed at the time. And one of the things my therapist told me is like, dude, you're very empty. And I told him, yeah, you're right. I am empty. And he's like, that's probably also affecting how you're showing up in your interviews. You're probably showing up empty as well. And I could admit to this. And so what he ended up telling me as advice was like, oh, go support a community of people. Go help other people. And I thought this guy was freaking silly. I wanted to punch him through the wall, through the phone call that we had. But what ended up happening was I thought about it and I was like, oh, okay, let me go try it. And I joined a community actually that's called Brilliant Black Minds. That's through this organization called Karat. And what they do is they try to bridge the gap of the number of black people that you find in tech. And so for them, I started volunteering, running sessions every Tuesday and Thursday, helping people with data structures and algorithms and, just being a leader in that way. And man, it only took 2 weeks and my whole mentality changed. When people started telling me, dude, you're really good at explaining concepts. You really helped me. And I was getting all these messages and from people, and people already starting to getting jobs, and the people that I was helping, I could see their journeys. And man, that encouraged me. And on days that I felt really low, I would see a message come in on LinkedIn like, hey, you really helped me with this. You're really good at this. And because at that time, I felt like I started questioning everything. I was questioning everything. I questioned even if I was even smart enough. I questioned how I even made it in tech. I questioned everything. I even questioned God. Every aspect of my life I questioned. But it was that group of people that reminded me of who I was, that helped me to reform a narrative of where I was, who I was, and whom I was meant to be. And God just changed everything in that situation through that community. I have a saying that I live by that I believe to be true. Every good thing you do in your life, you do it for yourself. And every bad thing that you do it for yourself. What I believe is that every good thing you do, somehow, it always comes back to you. Even if it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, you can almost always trace it back to a specific decision in a specific moment that you did. And the same applies to our bad decisions and our bad things that we do to other people. Those always come back. They will haunt us one day. And so that's why I encourage you as well to go out there in the world and do good. And do as much good as you can. No matter how empty you are, those things almost always will come back to you. Those are the 3 strategies I wanted to leave with you guys. To recap, find ways to romanticize the life that you're living right now, no matter how difficult that is. And the way that you do that is through acceptance and gratitude. And for gratitude, you can just literally have a journal every day that you write 3 things that you're grateful for every single day, and the highlight of your day and the things that will make that day amazing. Practice that for a week and it will change your mindset. Secondly, join a community. And if you can't find one, create one. And lastly, don't ever escape. If you escape, you create more problems and you create suffering. I hope this is super helpful for you in whatever you're going through. And look, whatever it is that you're going through, if it's so hard for you to bear that you need to talk to somebody, please feel free to reach to me on my email or comment in the comment, and I'll reach out to you and we can chat. Reach out to me on my Instagram. Anywhere you can find me, please reach out. And if you're not comfortable reaching out to me, make sure you're reaching out to someone, a friend, a family member, a therapist. And if you really can't find someone to reach out to, there's a number that you can find online. If you're really thinking bad thoughts, please reach out to someone. There's a number for that as well. I wish you the best on your journey. Hopefully everything works out, because it always does. If you stay long enough on this journey, I promise you'll get what you're looking for. I pray for you.